5:51 a.m. First of all, I'm an early bird, and I've been up since 4 a.m. and I've been thinking about what to come here and tell you. First of all, if you're in the US, happy 4th of July. Happy holidays. Happy new month. And happy July to everyone listening to the We Don't Play podcast show, including you. I'm excited you're here because what you're listening to in the background is the new background music for season 11. Oh my God, let me tell you this story. I made this beat you're listening to yesterday around like 4 a.m. and it took me 29 minutes to complete. And when I did it, I was like, this is just music to my ears, because I was like, I want a flute, I want drums, I want to mix Afrobeat and classic hip hop, like bop music, and I'm a drummer. I'm left-handed, and I'm grateful to God for that blessing. So I'm drinking some coconut water. If you don't drink coconut water, you need to drink coconut water. You know, this is going to be the most exclusive episode. That's coconut water. The most exclusive episode you ever going to listen to. I don't do this. I'm sure you're like, what is he about to say? Favour, you're always up to something. Yeah, because this is the We Don't Play podcast show. And you are invited to listen because right now I'm about to tell you something so exclusive. So I made this beat so that when we have interviews again, because you're wondering what happened to the interviews, right? The last interview we had, shout out to Somatic Massage and Spa. Go check them out. If you ever go to New York, you can always touch down in Floral Park, New York, and go to Somatic and get yourself a great massage. You know, it's good to have therapy. It's good to have therapeutic things that you do. Like for me, I love to, if you didn't know this, I'm gonna tell you this. I love to use contrast therapy, which is a good way of starting off with high frequencies and also high heat or high temperatures. So I would go into a sauna that's almost 150 degrees and then end up cold plunging into 50 degrees within an hour. So it's good for mind reset, and then in between take a shower with vitamin C. So why am I giving you all this stuff at the same time? Like, because I want to tell you that this new season we're about to get into is going to be one of the most exciting seasons in the We Don't Play podcast show, because a lot of things are going to start happening. A lot. Like, you're going to start hearing advertisements. Yeah. You're going to start hearing advertisements. And it's going to be advertisements that you want to hear. That's the best part. Because you don't want to hear things you're not interested in. And I know what you're interested in because I've been listening. Like, the more I talk, the more I listen. With that being said, there are going to be interviews coming back after the last one that we just had with Cameron Richards. And we're going to have the next one. We're going to kick off with Matthew Mellinger. He's a co-founder of SEOGets, and if you go to SEOGets.com, it's a Google search console alternative. I'm putting my SEO hat on for a little bit. That's gonna be something that you're gonna have to look through, and some people don't know about it. So I said, hey, you know what? Let me bring the person who made it or who was part of it to talk to you about it, so that I don't have to keep saying it every time. So that's gonna be season 11, episode 1. And that's going to come to you tomorrow. So for today, I just wanted to say, you know, it's a holiday. You know, you've been working hard, you've been listening, you've been tuned in. We're now in 149 countries. Can you imagine? Thank you, Jesus. 149 countries. The last ones, let me tell you who they are or what countries they are, because I like to give you guys, your flowers. Okay, here we go. 149 countries. So let me tell you the top 10, because I don't think you've ever heard this. But actually, you know what? I'm gonna list all the countries. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do, because there's no top anything. Everybody here is important. So here we go. United States, United Kingdom, Canada, Singapore, India, Germany, China, Nigeria, Kenya, Australia, France, Ireland, Brazil, Philippines, Spain, Albania, Morocco, Pakistan, Thailand, Taiwan, South Africa, Sweden, Ghana, Netherlands, Zimbabwe, Ukraine, Poland, Bangladesh, New Zealand, Egypt, Russia, Mexico, United Arab Emirates, Trinidad and Tobago, Mozambique, Norway, Turkey, Romania, Vietnam, Italy, Laos, Japan, Bulgaria, Jamaica, Argentina, Saudi Arabia, Malaysia, Finland, Czech Republic, Serbia, Israel, Colombia, Dutch East Indies, Portugal. Before I go any further, Portugal, just want to have a moment of silence for Diogo Jota. Praying for his family. I don't have words, but I know God is a good God, and God is God, and we have to trust God. We just have to. We just don't know, but we have to trust God. This is when you need God the most. So yeah, and I'm so glad that they actually did a live Ballers and God, shout out to y'all, on Instagram, and over 50 people got saved and were brought to the saving grace. So it's a lot. It's deep. I don't even have words, but I just pray if you're hearing this, you know, and you've been feeling this, because I'm a Manchester City fan. And Manchester City and Liverpool, that's a huge rivalry, and that's what brings us together. So yeah, it's deep. It's deep, and I just wanted to make sure that I cover that before we continue the countries, because I'm going down the list. So shout out to Portugal, Chile, Haiti, Barbados, Iraq, Cyprus, Greece, Tunisia, Azerbaijan, Nepal, Austria, Uruguay, Hong Kong, Angola, Denmark, Dominican Republic, Lithuania, Senegal, Costa Rica, Ecuador, Belgium, Algeria, Peru, Oman, Puerto Rico, El Salvador, Cameroon, Venezuela, Uzbekistan, Honduras, Slovakia, Tanzania, Hungary, Kazakhstan, Paraguay, Bosnia and Herzegovina. I hope I said it correctly. Bosnia and Herzegovina. Oh, that's how you say it. Bosnia and Herzegovina. You got it. I love how this podcast is so authentic. South Korea, Montenegro, Indonesia, Kuwait, Ivory Coast, Slovenia, Switzerland, Sri Lanka, Ethiopia, Armenia, Guatemala, Estonia, Cambodia, Zambia, Syria, Reunion, Georgia, Republic of Moldova, Belize, Palestine, Burma, Bahrain, Bahamas, Congo, Lebanon, Nicaragua, Bermuda, Bolivia, Solomon Islands, Eritrea, Kyrgyzstan, Grenada, Qatar, Sudan, Vanuatu. That's the name, Vanuatu. Anguilla, Latvia, Croatia, Guinea, Iceland, Guinea-Bissau, Madagascar, Mauritius, Antigua and Barbuda, Please forgive me if I mentioned it wrong. Macau, British Virgin Islands, Moldova, Burkina Faso, Jordan, Somalia, the Gambia, St. Lucia, Brunei, Guyana, Mali, Panama, Turks and Caicos, Botswana, Malta, and the last one that joined the list, Mongolia. That's 149 countries. Listening to the We Don't Play podcast show. That's a blessing. You know, I've always said this. There was a time I was told about something international, global, that God spoke to me through his prophet, through my mom too. And if I tell you that this was something that has been written in the stars, you just have to believe me. Because it's God ordained. It's written by, let me say it this way, it's God's handwriting on this. Because I've always wanted to have an internet radio show ever since I was small. And I remember my freshman year, the teacher was like, what do you guys want to be when you grow up? And I was like, hey, I want to have an internet radio show. I want to talk to the world. I want to have a multi, how do I say this? I want to say it in a really nice way. I want to have a global impact. Let me just make it simple. And that's what I thought about. And a year after that, that was when I got my first radio opportunity in 2012 to be on radio. And that was in February. And I was like, huh? I'm on radio? This is real? And then from that day, I knew if I could be on a radio talking to people that don't know me and they've listened to me, just imagine what's going on now, 10 plus years later. So I said, you know what? I'm going to do this thing very seriously, and I'll take it seriously. Because at one point, I was like, I mean, if you don't know this, you should know by now that I'm a musician. You know, before podcasting, music was first. Because I'm a self-taught drummer. I'm a producer. The beat you're listening to in the background is what I produced. And I play for my church. I play the drums. I still do. So I have music on Apple Music, Spotify. Like, just type in Flaev Beatz, Flaev Beatz, and you'll see all my music all the way back to 2005. So I'm working on new music, actually. I'm working on some new music, and this new music is going to be this music is going to be very exciting for you to listen to, because it's going to say a lot about a lot of things. You know, a lot of people don't know things like, you know, I was married and, you know, now divorced, and there's a whole story, and there's a lot that comes with that. But, you know, the two things I made sure is, and we both agreed on, is, you know, let's make heaven and let's have peace on earth. So yeah, because that's one thing that you cannot buy, peace. And that's something that I wanted to, you know, make sure that it was said. So it's something that you think about over time, and you're like, you know what? God brings people, and there's a reason. I don't know. Till this day, it's still like, I don't know. It doesn't go away. It just doesn't just disappear. So you think, you're like, man, there's so much. Like, it's a lot. So I want to put it in music, and that way I can express myself, you know, from a healed place, from a safe place, from a grace place, if that makes sense. A grace place, because you have to give yourself grace, and you also have to give the people grace, and the person grace, and yourself included, because we're not perfect. Only Jesus is. So I feel like there's a lot to unpack there, and I can't put it all in a podcast, but you listen to it in a song. So yeah, that's really what I'm bringing to you, because this episode is very real. I didn't come here with a script. I'd never come to this episode or show with a script. I think you've realized that, because there are no scripts here. Like, I don't have a backlog of scripts to tell you, hey, we go to episode 55. This is a script. You have to listen to it to know what episode 55 was. I don't even know what episode 55 was. So you have to think about it. 500 episodes later, you keep going, but you're not just going, you're moving. Yesterday, let me just tell you how, oh my God, let me tell you what happened yesterday. Yesterday, I know you guys know of Zoom, Teams, you know about Google Meet, all these new tools and gadgets. Great. Have you heard of Roam? Roam, not like Italy, Rome, or Rome, Italy. Roam, like roam around, like roaming, like Roam Network. So like ROAM. Check it out. RO.am. It's new. It's an AI virtual space that you can do everything. I even told them about spatial chat, because we brought somebody to spatial chat from Cyprus, right? We brought somebody from Cyprus to talk about spatial chat. He's a founder, and you can listen to that episode here on We Don't Play Podcast Show. So I'm like, I've heard of these things. So what's different? Like interface wise, tech wise, what's different? So it's a different platform. A lot can go on in there, and I'm slowly getting to understand the platform. So I'm just letting you know. You heard it first here on the We Don't Play Podcast Show, because here's where you listen, you live, you learn, and you earn. So I'm glad that you're here, and I'm giving you some raw, exclusive updates. Like, you're probably like, wow, I never knew this. I never knew this. I never knew this. Yeah, today is today years old. So I'm glad you're here. And if you're listening to this and you got to this point and you're dedicated to listening to this podcast, I appreciate you. God bless you. And I hope that everything that you do works in your favor. No pun intended, because I'm serious about the things that I do, and I'm very particular about things that I meticulously tell you, because I know that this is something you're going to have to listen to at some point, and you're going to be like, whoa, he did say it. There's power in the tongue. The power of life and death is in the tongue. So it's different. Like yesterday, I was reading my Bible, doing my study, and I didn't even know that Samson in the Bible, everyone knows about Samson and Delilah, right? But I didn't know that Samson actually was married, and Samson's wife and father-in-law were burned by the enemies, the Philistines, after he went to attack on the Philistines, because Samson had a thing with the Philistines. So I was like, whoa, because he married a Philistine too. And his dad was like, no, don't do that. But he was like, yeah, that's who I want to marry. So that happened, and then I didn't know about Delilah in that format until I read the Bible yesterday. So I'm sure you're like, okay, what does it have to do with anything? This is information for you, because when you hear something new, your mind changes. You activate some new things in your neurons, right? Your hippocampus. Like, there's a lot of things you have to think about with your brain, with your mindset, that if you stick on stuck, you'll always be stuck forever, right? Don't stick on stuck, because what I'm just giving you here is me. This is me. This is a bonus episode. So, you're not here listening to SEO, Pinterest, AI, digital marketing. Yes, that's what we talk about. But I also feel like sometimes you also have to know who the person is, because we're always putting on this suit, right? We're always putting on this show. And I'm like, no, you got to know me too. I got to know you too. That way, when you listen to episodes, you feel connected. It's like when you know your best friend, you know what your best friend likes for her birthday, for his birthday, you're going to do that. I have a lot of friends having birthdays today. Shout out to Onyekachi, happy birthday. Shout out to Echo the Guru, happy birthday. These are people that I know. These are people who have impacted my lives for good. So I'm just giving you guys insights about what's coming, what's happening. So I mentioned earlier that we're going to have advertisements, right? That's going to happen. We're going to have advertisements, and advertisements are going to be here. Let there be commercials. And those commercials will help you understand more about yourself, because I'm learning about really specific products. Like, I think this past week, I've seen at least 5 new products that can change your life. At least 5. And there are more. Things like hydrogen water. Like, if I go into the detail, you'd be like, whoa, there's so much I've seen. And I'm like, yeah, y'all need to know about this. It's not just about SEO and AI. Yes, we want to talk about those things, but we also have to be healthy first. We have to be wealthy in mind. We have to think about these things as well. Wellness is important. So this is like a reality check for you, for me too. So we're going to have commercials. They're not going to be many, but they're going to be enough for you to listen to across each episode and learn about, and do your own research too. Please do your research as well. This is information based. Do your research, and also consult your professional provider for anything that results into anything that you think about as a product gain for you or a service gain for you. So yeah, wanted to make that clear. Also, we're bringing back interviews. I've said this, I think this is the 3rd time I'm saying this here. So we're bringing back interviews, and these interviews are going to be very exciting because we've been recording since 2023. Yeah, there's some episodes since 2023 you haven't heard. You're like, what? Yeah. And I'm like, I want to bring it to you so heavy, like a waterfall, but I wanted to make sure that you can enjoy it too. And I was like, I got to do it the right way. So season 11, yeah, it's Waterfall season. So we've just finished season 10. We had 81 episodes. That's a lot of episodes for one season. Now, we're going to do episode maybe, let me not say it now, but we're going to make sure season 11 is done well, interview style. There's going to be bonuses. I talked about this in the last trailer, in the last bonus, in the last episode. I was like, yeah, I'm going to give you guys some new insights. So every season, I'm sure you've realized there's always a new song. There's always a new beat. There's always a new sound. That's because we want to keep it fresh. We want to keep it loaded. We want to keep it exciting. And we want to keep things on a good scale. So there's a lot going on. Even Apple turned 20 years old last month, right? Apple just turned 20. Like, they're not even legal yet. So officially they are, but when you're 21, great. But they are between 18 and 21, so they're 20 now. So just imagine Apple Podcasts year 1 and Apple Podcasts year 20. Now think about Apple Podcasts year 30. Yeah, 25. We're not far from that. We're already in the second half of the year. So I just want to bring this to you. Just me pouring into you. Because sometimes I feel like this is also therapeutic for some people. Because they just want to listen to someone else's thoughts. And that is fine. I would love to listen to your thoughts. Because in those thoughts come value, experience, and decision. Value, experience, and decision. That's VED. VED. Value, experience, and decision. So, this is what we're going to be doing on the show. Bringing this information to you. We're going to bring topics from all over the world. We're going to touch on different aspects. And you're going to be very well educated, not just with marketing skills, but also soft skills, things that you can also use for your business, for your personal gain, for your health gain. There are things that I do these days that are different. Like, for example, let me say it this way. I brush my teeth with the opposite hand. So I'm left-handed. So I use my right hand to brush my teeth. And if you do that, try it out. If you're right-handed, try brushing with your left when you wake up. Your brain is gonna react differently because it's gonna be going through a different pattern cycle. So your reticular activating system is gonna have a different pattern switch, which is gonna help you also activate some neurons in your brain cells. So do your research too. I always say this, but the things I'm doing, I like to tell you because these are things that are helping me get better. And that's why I'm here doing this episode at the early hours of the morning before the sun even rises, because I know you're gonna need this information. So I want to make sure you understand it. So yes, please try these things out. Wake up differently, say a prayer, commit the day to the Lord. Make sure that your mindset is set on doing at least 3 things that are fulfilling in your day. It could be personal, it could be professional, it could be spiritual, whatever it is. Make sure that you do it so that you feel fulfilled from within, because no one else can feel fulfilled if you don't fulfill yourself first, right? So I know you've listened to this episode and you're like, okay, now we get it. There's a lot happening. Yes, you're gonna have new episodes. New season is starting tomorrow. Right now it's time to have a good time, enjoy yourself, have a happy holiday wherever you are in the world. And also, if you're listening to this, please go back to the last episodes we've covered, especially on AI. That's why I did 2 AI episodes in the last 2 episodes of the last season, because they're going to be very helpful to give you that insight long term. So please check it out. Let me know if you have any questions. If you want to reach out to me, if you need an SEO discovery call, if you need a website, if you need podcast management, if you need Pinterest management, if you need anything that's going to help you with your digital marketing, please reach out to me. My name is Favour Obasi Ike, based in Houston, Texas, and I'm excited to connect with you locally, regionally, nationally, globally, because we can reach out wherever we are in the world and make sure that we can give you a great experience. We've talked to people in Singapore, we've talked to people all the way in India, Australia, in Poland, in Portugal, in so many places. So you just have to tap in. How do you do that? Go to calendly.com/Flaev Beatz, FLAEV BEATZ, and you can get all the meeting calendars in there if you want to connect with me. And then just go directly to playinc.online, which is the official website, playinc, PLAYINC.online, and schedule a meeting. Let's talk. Let's have a conversation for a complimentary 30 minutes. Think about 30 minutes like what you've just gone through with me here, but imagine that just for you and your business, your vision, your story. So that's what I want to listen to. So thank you for listening, and I hope you have a wonderful holiday. Can't wait to see you in season 11. This is the music you're going to be listening to. So I'm sure you've been jamming like I have. And also letting you know, the music that you keep listening to is going to turn into lyrics or somebody else singing on this song, because it could be me or somebody else doing it. Yeah. So have a wonderful day. Enjoy yourself. Be blessed. Don't be stressed. Stay hydrated. Drink your coconut water like I just am. And I'll see you tomorrow.